Hey guys, what's up? Camp5 here, it's Josh, and
RS Chaos Master Brian here. How's it going, guys?
So, before we get into this video, if you haven't seen part 1, check out the link down below on both of our channels. We'll have links to our first video where we talked about the Dragon Ball Z Full Color Comic Part 1, or the first edition, and in this video we're going to go over Part 2 and Part 3. So let's go ahead and get started with this, guys. Okay, so right now we're going to go over Part 2 at this moment, and then we'll go into Part 3 in a little bit. And I'm going to hand it over to Brian to start us off. So Brian, take it away.
Okay, so Part 2 starts out with Goku finally conjuring up his Spirit Bomb. It also says that the Saiyans are hurtling through space, and they're getting closer and closer to Earth. The total amount of pages in this volume is, give me 1 second, it is 241. But then there is also 2 pages of sound effect glossary, just like the last one. And the last page of this volume is Goku. It looks like his fight with Vegeta has just about started. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's towards the beginning of his fight with Vegeta. And he's saying that he's getting excited because he hasn't fought an opponent this strong before. So there is a lot of stuff that happens in this volume, guys. A lot of characters are going to die. You're going to have a total of 4 characters die in this volume. That is Yamcha, followed by Chaozu, followed by Tien, followed by Piccolo. Mm-hmm. It's just amazing to revisit all this again, even after watching it over and over again, just because of how much I love this series.
Right.
This is literally a new experience. Reading this is almost like revisiting the show again for the very first time.
And if you own any of the other Dragon Ball Z graphic novels, the original black and white or the Vizbids, guys, reading the full color, it's just breathtaking. The colors are just so accurate, and we mentioned this in the last video, but still, the colors are just downright amazing. I mean, it literally looks like they took screenshots and like drew them perfectly to how it was on the show, whether you're watching on the Dragon Bosses or just watching on TV in Dragon Ball Z Kai. Now, if you're watching on the Orange Brits, the colors are very much different, but if you're watching it on Kai, or again on the Dragon Bosses, if you're watching the full 291 episodes, just, I mean, look at Piccolo when Nappa kills him.
That's just done.
At that. That's just insane on the colors and everything. And one thing I want to mention is, for those of you who've never read a graphic novel or manga, they read from right to left. So when you start it, you're not starting it like you're reading a traditional book like Harry Potter. Otherwise, you'll be very much confused and will not know what in the world's going on because you're reading it backwards. So if you have never read a manga, be sure to read from right to left. And you can pick these up at your local Barnes & Noble. They cost $20 as of this video recording, so you can also get them online, like on Amazon. So if you don't want to go to a physical retail store like Barnes & Noble, you don't have to. So Brian, take it away.
The Saiyans are coming, and they're coming with full force. Nappa starts the battle with Gen and just kicks his freaking ass. I mean, he just completely destroys him.
Just look at this image, just like I showed you that Piccolo image. Look at this image of Nappa firing a blast out of his mouth. Just look at that detail. I mean, guys, my webcam, my eyesight camera is not going to show it enough, even the nice quality of the Kinect. You need to go, like, and pick up one of these and just, the quality of the paper, like, everything is just downright fantastic. The one gripe that I have, which isn't a gripe really, it's just I like it on my original black and white releases, is when you look at the spine, and I did a video on this on my channel, comparing them, you actually get an image together when you put the manga releases together, just like when you put the Dragon boxes together, you get an image. But on this, it's literally all going to just say Dragon Ball full color comic, and depending on what arc you're in, it'll say Saiyan arc, or what presumably will say Frieza arc, or Namek arc, or Cell arc, or Buu arc, whatever, and the number of what volume it's going to correspond to. So that's just one thing. And Brian, do you know how many releases you're expecting this is going to have?
Well, like I said in the last video, I'm expecting around 16. But one thing that Josh didn't mention, although he's saying how he really liked the fact that it formed a picture. On the back of here, which I already talked about this on the last video, but on the back, there's images that specifically pertain just to this specific volume of the full color comic around the whole synopsis of the manga.
Mm-hmm. And the front cover, I mean, the image of who's ever on the front cover corresponds to what's going on in the manga itself. So on the last one, it was Goku and Nappa, and this one, or sorry, it was Goku and Raditz, and on this one, it's Goku and Nappa. And that just is amazing. And I mean, the freaking Dragon Ball right here, the O in Dragon is a Dragon Ball, this one-star Dragon Ball. I mean, just the detail. I mean, it's just amazing.
And one thing that we have failed to mention that is very, I think, important is, Josh might not even know this, this full-color comic is done by Viz Media, who is not the same studio that does the anime. Funimation Entertainment owns the broadcast rights to the show. Viz Media owns the manga rights. And Viz Media should be familiar to some of you because they are the ones behind Bleach.
Right, okay, so now we're going to move on to Volume 3 right now. And you can see this one has Goku, as he is, his gi is ripped off, because at this point, it's going to get to, more into the fight with, Vegeta. And, by then, Goku's gi gets, ripped off, and, we end up getting to right about when, Goku is in the hospital because of the fight, and Krillin, Gohan, and Bulma are off to Planet Namek. So Brian, I'll let you take it away again to discuss more about it.
How dare a third-class warrior defeat the mighty Prince Vegeta and shed his blood? As this manga starts, it's just as intense as the last one. Goku is putting up a fight, and it is just ticking Vegeta off to no end. He has to do something that he never does to beat one single fighter. He has to transform into his Ozaru form, which, if we're going to translate it to English, means Great Ape.
One thing that also I wanted to say was that when you look at the show, like, the show is so fast-paced, you might not be able to see every single detail. In a manga, it's not a moving image. You go as slow or as quick as you want to. Like, this image right here of Vegeta transforming into his Ozaru or Great Ape form, like, that transformation is pretty quick in the show. And on here, it's just so detailed. You can see just his emotions in his face, just him transforming. And, like, Goku in awe, like, saying, like what's going on? Like, it is just insane just how well this release is. And I'm definitely planning, as Brian is probably as well, picking up every single release of this full color comic no matter how many of these come out. My release that I have, as mentioned earlier, is either in my last video or earlier on in this video, is 26 volumes. And Brian's Vizbids are, what, 9?
Yes, 9.
And the Vizbids colors are not that accurate, and the whole thing is not in color, correct?
That is correct.
So, when you look at these, just, I mean, the colors, the quality, if you've never seen Dragon Ball Z, go watch Dragon Ball Z. It's something you need to watch right away. If you're watching this video and you have no idea what we're talking about, would you say they should watch the anime first or pick up the comics? Because the comics, you can read them. If all of them come out, you can read the show if you don't want to watch the TV show. But then, to me, it made some sense to do that.
If you've never seen the show and you want someplace to start with Dragon Ball Z Kai. Mm-hmm. It is a quick adaptation of the series. The only thing I can say is that the Buu Saga is not out yet, which is the final arc of the Dragon Ball Z story. Although, who knows how long that's going to be, because Battle of Gods is coming out, and it opens the possibility for a whole nother Dragon Ball Z series if they want to. It probably won't happen, but
True.
we've got more movies coming our way for sure. Make sure you guys, if you are a fan of Dragon Ball Z, please support the release of Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods in theaters. Because if you do, and it does well, who knows? They could announce Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods 2. They could announce a whole new series. Who knows?
Click the link down below to Funimation's website, because I believe you have to pre-order your tickets before you go to the theater. You can't just go to the theater like if you're going to see Transformers Age of Extinction and buy a ticket. You have to actually buy it online, and there's a list of which theaters in the United States are getting the movie. Not every theater is getting it, but for Brian and myself, our nearest theater is getting it, so we're both it's excited. I mean, this is, what, the first Dragon Ball Z movie to come to theaters?
Ever. In the United States.
Insane. So, is there anything more that you want to say about Dragon Ball Z Full Color Comic 3 that we haven't said about 1 and 2?
Yes. I have not said that these are unedited. The manga that Josh and I have were edited for, let's see, what does it say here? I believe it was edited for nudity. It was edited for, what else? There was other stuff that was edited. Sound effects were edited. These are not edited. These, I'm pretty confident. Don't quote me on this because I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident is the same as the Kanzenban that is over in Japan.
Oh, and one other thing that I also forgot to mention, especially in the last video, is that the manga, unlike the Dragon Ball Z, like if you're watching the Dragon Bosses, the manga has no filler. Like, anything that you saw on Dragon Ball Z of the 291 episodes that are not in the manga, that's filler. So Goku and Piccolo getting their driver's license, one of my favorite fillers of the whole series. Brian knows that as well. That is not in here. So that's the other thing. If you want to read Dragon Ball Z with no filler, you want the comics or watch Dragon Ball Z Kai. There's no filler in Kai. If you want to watch Dragon Ball Z in its entirety, if you can somehow magically get a copy of the Dragon Bosses, that's your best way. I do not recommend at all going to get the Orange Brits that are in retail stores right now. Don't.
The best option as far as a finance goes, if you want to own the series cheaply and not have it look like crap, I'm going to say crap. And I'm sorry if I offend any of the Orange Brick users out there, but in my opinion, they are crap. Is the Dragon Ball Z Blu-rays. They're at least acceptable. I'm not going to say they're good. I'm not going to say they're great. I'm not going to say, hey, they're freaking awesome, go buy them. No, I'm going to say they're acceptable.
Mm-hmm. And they've already released multiple seasons already, and they are relatively cheap. You can get them on Amazon or through like Funimation or Right Stuff. So definitely check that out. But yeah, is there anything else about the comic you want to say before we wrap up?
No, I had something else I wanted to say about the Blu-rays.
Sure.
The reason that I personally own them is because there was a musical score that was on the Orange Bricks, the Blu-rays, and the canceled level sets that was not on the Dragon boxes. And although I prefer the Japanese score, there is a part of nostalgia in me that wants to watch it sometimes how I saw it on Toonami all those years ago.
And with the Blu-rays, you don't have to worry as much about about disc getting scratched, because Blu-rays are more resistant to scratches. So that's another. And you can buy the Blu-ray sets mainly in retail stores like Best Buy carries them. I don't know about other retail stores, but Best Buy I know for a fact carries them. So if you go to your local Best Buy, you can pick up the season sets, but don't buy the Orange Brits unless you, for some reason, want them. But we're not offending anybody. If you please do not take this to any offense if you own the Orange Brits or any other sort of quality with the release. Please don't take any offense to this.
This is what I have to say, which this might seem offensive to some of you, but I'm actually glad they released the Orange Bricks and they released a terrible version of Dragon Ball Z on DVD. Because without it, we would have never got the Dragon boxes because they wouldn't have been able to purchase the rights to them. So to all the people that bought the Orange Bricks, thank you!
But guys, to wrap this up, this is Camp Watch with 5 here. It's Josh and
RS Chaos Master Brian here. Follow me at RS Chaos Master.
Check me out at twitter.com/CampWatch5. And what was... I don't know if they heard you. What was that? Check you at where?
RS Chaos Master. Follow me on Twitter.
And if you haven't already, please like the video.
Subscribe. I need subscribers.
Like and subscribe. I've got a little bit of Dragon Ball Z content on my channel, but Brian is the Dragon Ball Z guru. At least of my subscriptions, Brian is the go-to Dragon Ball Z guy, and he's a friend of mine. He's got so much Dragon Ball Z content stuff to the right. Well, our right, his left. He's got Dragon Ball Z figures that are in the box that he's never going to open. They're for display. He's got so much Dragon Ball Z content, it's just crazy. So definitely check out his channel.
Literally, you enter my door into my room, and you can automatically tell that I like Dragon Ball Z.
And I mean, it's just insane. And also, be sure Brian's got a contest going on right now for this month. So definitely check out that. I'll have a link to that video specifically in the description box below, and he'll have links to my channel in the description box below as well.
This is the prize, guys.
But this is Camp Watch 5 here. It's Josh, and again, we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Peace.